Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of Cruzin With The Coaches, conversation with Julie and Lee. Clearly, we're your favorite hosts because you're watching, so it's all good. Julie, got a question for you. Well,
Sure.
first, how you doing? You feeling good?
I'm doing okay. Excuse me.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. No, let's try that again. No, I'm kidding. But just because we're, through, midway through November, my question for you is how many pumpkin spice lattes have you had in this season so far?
I started late. Yeah, I didn't have my first one till October 1st, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's not necessarily late. That's
No,
okay. You started in September?
usually as soon as it's offered, like on it. But this is the first
August
time.
31st, right?
Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, it was coming from Vegas, so then I was like all whacked out. But yeah, I've actually switched to tea, so I'm not really doing a whole lot of pumpkin
Okay.
spice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
now also, would you do it with whole milk, skim milk, uh, oat milk, almond milk? Just curious,
Almond milk. Almond.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. No, I do oat because
Okay.
it's a little, I don't know, the flavor is a little different. I typically will drink almond milk at home with regular
Okay.
stuff, but yeah. So weird fact, and I don't know if this is at every Starbucks or just
Okay.
not my favorite coffee shop anyway, but I go there occasionally. So if I get a chai latte with
Mhm.
oat milk, the price, right, shows up right there.
Okay.
$6.66. I was like, oh, I need a donut, or can I get a? I'm looking like, what else can I get? Because I got to change that price. I know it's the weirdest thing, man. So I was
That's
like,
funny.
so that's a grande chai latte with oat milk, $6.66. Like,
I always go with medium, so I'll be good.
yeah, not not
That's
not
funny.
not fair, not
So
fair.
is that something that is a ritual for you? Like if something comes up, then you'll have to buy something else?
Oh, 100%. If that number
Really?
comes up, oh,
Yeah.
we not
Okay.
paying that.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Got you. Got you.
I will pay an extra $200 to get rid of that
To
number.
get rid of that number, you'll be what, 199.99.
Right. What else? Oh, I can get a gigantic cup that I got to carry on my back. Sure, right? But whatever. Yeah, yeah, man.
That's funny.
The first time I saw that, I was like, and the cashier was like, "Yeah, that's weird." I was like, "Yeah, let's change this."
That's funny.
Yeah, man, it was strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally unrelated to the topic we're having for this
That's
episode, but just
okay.
just had to share. Oh, actually, here you go. Not unrelated, because that number can make your pressure rise, because kind of. And so, if your blood pressure rises, guess what you can do? Meditation.
There you go. Look how you connected.
Yeah,
Look at
I
you.
try.
Look at you.
Professional, right? Professional. But today's episode, we are talking about how essential meditation is. Okay. And yes, I can attest to that. I will share that later when we start talking about how to add meditation into your life. All right. Um, but let's talk about what meditation is, first of all.
Mhm.
So, and this is a great saying. Never really heard this before. This article is from Psychology Today. There's a saying that if you want to know how the wind blows, look at the sand. So first of all, I got to steal that because I've never heard it before. But then, if your body was the sand, what would you notice? Headaches, achy back, tension in your neck. What is your body telling you? If the wind represents your mind, your thoughts, what is this metaphorical wind around you blowing? Is it blowing stress? Is it blowing fatigue? So before we go on, how about you? If you want to know how the wind blows, what is the sand telling you?
What?
Yeah, I read that and I was like, never heard that before. But I can get down with that, right? Like you're looking at the sand, your body's the sand, so the
Mhm.
wind blows, and how's it moving the sand, right? Are you
Right.
feeling good or not feeling good? What are you feeling, physically? And then the wind, I'd like to think about that as, what's going on in here, right? It's blowing through. What's that? Are you stressed? Is it blowing anxiety around, or is it peaceful? Right?
Mm.
That's how I looked at that saying, and yeah, I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using that.
There you
I
go.
got to steal it. So, meditation can help you recenter and strengthen your emotional and mental resources to bend the wind rather than struggle against it. Not only that, but meditation can actually slow down the aging process. It may also support a healthier and longer life. So hang on, folks, because we're going to give you some science. All right. We're going to break this down a little bit. In our cells, there's these things called telomeres. They control the cells and how the body ages. They're like the caps that are found, or these are caps that are found at the end of each strand of DNA, kind of like the little plastic aglets on the end of shoelaces. So these aglets, if you will, are just like the telomeres when they keep our DNA from being harmed or unraveling. Okay. Unfortunately, the telomeres are affected by stress and anxiety that we experience in daily lives. The more stress we experience in life, the greater the damage to our cells and the greater the aging of our cells experience, or the greater our, yeah, you guys can read that. I clearly can't speak well. I think my telomeres are damaged. So, but however, there is research that has shown meditation can actually positively affect our telomeres and slow down the aging process at the cellular level. So, now coming back out here, how do you feel about telomeres and these little aglets that wrap around
Like,
our
is
strands
there
of
truth
DNA?
to them? Is there truth to them? Is that what you're asking me? I mean, obviously the
Or
science is there. Um, I mean, I can only speak to my own experience, which I mean, I
sure.
will tell you, um, a lot of complications with my, well, what would have been my fourth pregnancy,
Hmm.
um, and uh, y- cord issues, everything, and what have you. And
Yeah.
so, I turned to meditation, and I was doing visits, I want to say every week for that period, for a
Sure.
while. They were just making
Sure.
sure that everything was okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
this is funny because it's not a story that I tell many people. But it was through, like, I was stressed, and like stress isn't going to help pregnancy, right?
On it, it's going to make it worse. It's going to
Exactly. And
elevate all the other numbers that are fine, elevate everything else.
yes,
Yeah.
blood
Yeah. Yeah.
pressure, everything. And
Hmm.
so, as I want to say it was the third week, and things were not, they weren't worse, but they weren't improving.
Sure.
And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start meditating, and not only meditating, but praying on it, because it was kind of scary,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and so
100%.
sure enough, by the next appointment, because like I said,
Hmm.
we were talking 7 straight days,
Sure.
uh,
Sure.
there was improvement. And then by week 2, it was okay, even getting better. But by week, again, I guess my number's 3. Um, so by the third week, there was no issues at all, and like,
Wow.
what are you doing? Like, what, like,
Right.
what are you
Right.
doing for yourself that you like, and I'm like looking at her like, I,
I didn't do anything. Right.
I'm just sitting still with myself and breathing and relaxing, because I've
Yeah.
always worked behind a desk, so just sedentary
So
lifestyle.
just being there alone is going to change and stress the
Yeah,
body And I can only imagine what that does if you're pregnant, right? Sitting
Yes.
at a desk,
And he
Yeah.
was very frontal, so he was always pulling. So it was just kind of like, oh my
Mm.
gosh.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that was when I was introduced to meditation, and I
Meditation.
have done it every day since. So, and oh gosh, he's 18 years old now. So, I mean, like, it's a long time.
Yeah, you had to think like,
That's a long time. But I mean,
yeah,
I will tell you, my response to things is a lot different. Like before, I
sure.
could feel myself like, like now I'm just kind of like, huh, okay. Like,
It gives you a different outlook on things for sure.
for sure, for
I,
sure.
I've um when we get to the different types or how to add meditation,
Mhm.
I'll share a different story also then, but I can attest to the power of meditation. Simply, I do suffer from white coat syndrome, right? Going to doctor's office and um years ago started getting blood pressure issues, so I'm on medication. I get that. But after I caught COVID, like it was out of whack. And I do know that COVID had something to do with that for sure. That's just my gut feeling.
Yeah.
But still going into the office, and I'm one who typically takes public transportation, so that's going to be stressful, right? Trying to time it to get there.
Right.
Then you're getting to the office. Then you're okay. They're going to call me. I know they're going to check this, right? You're already thinking it. It's already here. So they put the cuff on, and I'm like, okay, right? And so I go through all of that. There was one particular time, I think this might have been a year or two ago. Um, the doctor was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to admit you if it stays this high." I was like,
Oh, wow.
"Well, you and I both know it's never been this high." She's like, "Yeah, I know, but this is a bit concerning." I literally 5 minutes. I was meditating in the doctor's office, brought my own blood pressure down to the acceptable level that I
Gotcha.
was on with medication. Like, and what did the kids say? No cap, right? Like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but 100%, I believe in meditation.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that's what worked for me, but there are several forms of meditation.
Okay.
Um, but we have some information before we get to how to add meditation to your life.
Okay.
Um, and you've heard us talk about the benefits, right? Other benefits of meditation include clearer thinking, better emotional well-being, enhanced physical health, slower and healthier aging. It's been linked to reduced depression. It increases calm, helps psychological balance. Hello, reduced blood pressure. That's I promise. This was the research. I didn't write that. Lower levels of stress hormones. That's that cortisol, folks. For those of you who don't know, that helps the body create. It helps you hang on to fat. Okay, I'll just basically say it that way. But it also helps get better sleep. That impacts the whole body. So there are times where we need to let our minds catch up with our physical bodies. Meditation is grounding like that. By letting the mental dust settle, we can allow ourselves to just be present in the moment. By listening to your body, you're more able to get in touch with your ability to know what's right for you. And by knowing yourself, you learn to trust yourself. So that's the stuff that medication,
Meditation
meditation.
helps too, but
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But that's what meditation, those are so many benefits of meditation. And you heard the
right.
two of us talk about very specific and personal things where it helped us. Um, I think I have one more slide with some information. So let me share that too, right? This was an interesting way to say it from Naira Wahid. If the ocean can calm itself, so can you. We are both salt water mixed with air. So I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting to say it that way, right? Because we're all kind of made the same stuff. Practicing meditation, and it will always be a practice because no one gets it perfect, requires just your breath. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing you have to do, nothing you have to buy, nothing you have to own. nothing to lose, and a whole lot to gain. Finding the stillness during a stressful or chaotic day on the job, at home, it gives you peace of mind, which is priceless. So, that being said, um, meditation is it's free, right?
Right, it
Like
is.
it's so if it's something like if when it's free, you have nothing to lose by trying it, right?
Right.
And by trying it, there's multiple ways. We're going to get to a break in a second, and after the break, we're going to share what these multiple ways to add meditation are. But man, if you've got who gambles, right?
Right.
Bad example, but like if you are a betting person and you've got everything to gain and zero to lose,
Yeah. What's the harm in trying?
absolutely, right?
Right.
Because you might just find something that sticks for you.
Right.
So why don't we take a break? We'll let people think about the aglets in their DNA, the telomeres, how much they're being damaged or not. Um, let's take a break, and then we'll talk about there's about 8 ways that you can add meditation into your life, whether it's at work or at home. So stay with us, folks. After the break, we're talking about meditation. Hey, folks, welcome back from the break. Hopefully, you tried some meditation. And if not, hey, we got something for you. We've got 8 ways that you can add meditation. And if you did try it during the break, time to wake up so you can pay attention to the 8 ways to add more meditation. So let's jump into the 8 ways that are no fuss ways to incorporate meditation. The first one is you can get to work early, take 5 minutes to ground yourself by taking 10 mindful breaths. This is 10 deep breaths every time. And so I want to add on here there's a certain way to breathe with meditation. You have to breathe from like if you are expanding your chest and your shoulders are raising, that's not breathing for meditation. You want to breathe from your belly. Okay, that's the deep breathing. Just for those who may want to try this. Number two, at a break, or lunch, engage in movement meditation, such as a mindful walk, yoga, or even Tai Chi. So I wanted to come back out on camera real quick because this is what I wanted to share. I actually looked up like beginning Tai Chi practices, right? And it's obvious if you've never seen Tai Chi, I mean you have, but for our viewers, it's like very free flowing, right? Free flowing movements. It's moving the energy around you and through your body, but your chi is like centered. So you're always kind of holding this ball, and that's how you're moving your chi around. I have a like a 3 to 5 minute sequence that I try to do. I need to practice it to get better at it, but like afterwards, I feel different. You know,
Okay.
like I feel it's hard, I don't know if I don't know if I want to say relaxed, but I
Fair.
feel
You feel
I
freer. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So Tai Chi, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now, this is not like self defense or like that, but Tai Tai Chi is the way to go. I promise you. Number three, when frustrations or unexpected events interrupt the day, take a couple minutes for a silent mantra meditation to get back on track and stay calm. You could say, think now, before I even read these, folks, this is from the article. So if they're cheesy or corny, I get it, but it's okay. You could even say things like keep calm and carry on. All shall be well. I am at peace, or I've got this. Um, Anything you'd like to add to the meditation, the silent mantra meditation before we move
Yeah,
on?
mine is it is what it is. Like seriously, I'll just say it is what it is. It is what it is, and like
Hey, that's the way to let it go, right?
yeah, it
That's
is what it is. Yep.
or as we've done previous episodes, let them. There you
Right.
go. You let
Right.
them.
Right. Right.
All right, moving on to number 40, guys. In this one, I've actually used in many coaching exercises to get clients to really understand the sensory perception. But engage in mindful eating to slow yourself down and enjoy every bite. Use all five senses: the touch, taste, smell, sight, and sound. You know, um, I'm gonna come back out on camera here for this one, but I've used this quite a few times. I even had a group one time where it was like a challenge. So I told them all to go get like a granola bar, right? And I told them I was going to give $20 to whoever could chew the
Make it
longest
last
without
longest.
swallowing. Yeah. And the whole goal was obviously paying attention to how that changed the more you chewed and
Right.
what was going on using the senses, right? Dialing. I didn't tell them that, but that's what I wanted them to pay attention to. And also, this comes in handy when you're trying to change your eating habits or eating patterns.
Correct.
The
Yeah.
more you chew, the more the saliva breaks the food down and the more your body can pull the nutrients from it.
Right.
So even if you're eating fast food, right? If you inhale that burger in 3 bites, look how hard your body has to work to absorb that anyway.
And that's a hard thing because you know, like if you wait, just say you have a busy day, you know, and you're
Mhm.
starving, you know, and you finally
Mhm.
get to eat. It's like just slow down and chew with as slow as you possibly can because you will pay for it later. You know, it's just like
Absolutely.
it's not
That
worth it.
you don't want the burger coming out the same way it went in. Like
I wouldn't
no,
look at that graphic. But
I'm just saying you don't.
but there is so much truth in just like
Mhm.
stopping and realizing, okay, I'm gonna taste every bit of this because if you do, you
Absolutely.
eat it too fast, you're gonna make yourself sick or you're gonna regret it, you
Or you're
know.
gonna be bloated, all of those good
Uh-huh.
and no one wants to be like that. No one wants to
Yeah,
feel that, you know?
yeah,
So the goal is slowing down, folks.
yes.
Slowing down. I will talk about a 20-minute meal, but we don't have that time. So that'll be another episode. Another episode. But number five, as far as meditation or the way to add meditation to your day, is in order to regain focus, notice five things, right? So this is also sensory perception. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Um, that's another way to add meditation, right? Meditation is not just sitting there being quiet. There's
Hmm.
many other ways to do meditation. This one kind of made me laugh because I don't know if I could do this one. Practice smiling meditation, especially when smiling. The last thing you feel like, especially when it's the last thing you feel like doing. So, are you smiling because you're happy, or are you happy because you're smiling? And I think that's that whole positive energy type thing, right?
Right.
It just leads you to a better feeling, and then you actually feel like smiling.
Yeah, because you
Hopefully.
can tell if someone is smiling, like when you're talking to them on the phone. You
Oh
know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so if you
absolutely,
smile,
absolutely.
you make yourself sound more pleasant, and
Hmm.
therefore
Hmm.
the conversation, especially if it's a hard conversation, you're just kind of like, oh, I really don't want to have this conversation. But
Right. You're
smiling through it.
like, hey, I gotta fire you, but you're a really nice person.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that one, but yeah.
yeah, not quite that extreme, but you get what we're saying. You get what we're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
there. Number seven, and this one I've never tried, but to clear your mind, walk the paper labyrinth or color a mandala. So you don't have to necessarily do a labyrinth, but there are adult coloring books that you can use, and get like some gel pens or get different colors. But it's something that is tactile. Well, I'm gonna come back out on camera, but it's something that's tactile. You can feel it, so it starts to get your senses involved, and
Okay.
then it's changing what your thought process is because you're focusing on the coloring. You're not focusing on the distracting or stressful thoughts that are going around in your head. See, the last one is, if stress is building, give yourself a 5-minute vacation meditation. You can feel free to use a guided meditation, and you can use that while you're starting so you can gain confidence in your meditation practice. Or if you want to keep using guided meditations, use it as long as you like. The one thing I'd like to add about meditation is that it's different for everybody.
Right.
There's so many different things you can try. You can mix and match different meditative practices, right? It's not just sitting there. That's not just what you have to do, right?
Right.
It is being mindful, it's being intentional, right? But slowing down, kind of giving some thought to what you want to do instead of just being mindless and going off the rails with it.
Hmm.
Anything you'd like to add about meditation? Um, well, I'll send you the Tai Chi sequence so you can try it, and we'll put the video up on YouTube. I'm kidding, folks. No YouTube videos. But anything you'd like to add about meditation before we end today's episode?
Yeah, so like meditation for me, like I said, I do it daily.
Mhm.
But like as weird as it sounds, I do it every morning, and
Mm,
when I set the alarm, what I do is I set the alarm and then I turn it off, and then I turn on a sound bath. So I'm
okay,
listening to the sound bath while kind of still sleeping, but not really. So it helps me
sure.
wake up easier.
Hmm.
Because I am not a morning person and I know that. So I know it's a process for myself. So yeah, I have like a set amount of different sound baths, and depending on what I want to hear that particular day, I just hit it. And then, some of them can go anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour and a half. It's just,
Nice.
depending on how long, I'm not that I'm going to lay there for an hour and a half before I get up, but I might listen to the next part of it the following day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, I love my sound baths.
Well, and that's the thing, you're using it to set the intention for the day, right?
Correct.
You're using
Yeah.
it to help just clear the mind, keep you relaxed, a nice and easy wake up after the stop. And okay,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
ease in. it's like walking into the shallow end of the pool before you go into the deep end of the day.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
very cool. All right. Well, folks, that is another episode of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julie and Lee. We hope you try some meditation at some point. De-stress. Life is too busy. We're in that season where it's ramping up. People are
Yes.
running around doing things. So try some meditation. See how that helps you. That way you may not be at each other's throats when you're going Christmas shopping. Just saying. And while you're doing that, hey, take a look. YouTube, go to the link, go ahead and like, subscribe, set your alerts. We release new content. That way you get it. You won't miss anything. Other than that, be peaceful, be mindful.
Yes.
Until next time, Lee and Julie signing off.